All right, guys, welcome back. So another issue with the truck. I think it's U-joints, but basically at full lock or, steering pretty far either direction, I'm getting, it used to be a noise, and as it's been getting worse, it's almost like, it almost feels like you're in four-wheel drive, but a little different. So I'm pretty sure it's U-joints, because usually as those start to bind at full lock, but it could also be a few other things. I heard some people say caliper sticking can sometimes cause some weird issues like that. So we'll jack it up and see. And this is gonna be a super easy project. There's pretty much no rust in this truck. It definitely doesn't have 300,000 miles on it, so gonna be real easy. So all right, enough talking. Let's start taking things apart.
All right, so here's our culprit right here. The axle U-joint on the passenger side. So you can see I took the brake caliper off just to make sure it wasn't the brake sticking. See, it seems like it's going fine. Doesn't seem like there's any play in there when you go forward to backwards, but... Okay, so now we're at full lock. It's the left, and you'll see this just doesn't want to go at all. Ugh. So, it's not the brakes. The brake caliper's off and everything like that, which I took off to check, and also it's not a ton of life left on these, so I'll probably just replace them while they're off. But that U-joint is going to be the issue. If you go to the driver's side now, driver's side still spins freely, which is what you want. But I'll probably replace both just to be safe. So we'll do U-joints both sides, brakes both sides, call it a day. Okay, so here are the U-joints. I got the two of them. So this is the part that I need to replace on the passenger side, and I'm going to replace on the driver's side as well. And then here are the brakes I got. I had EBC brakes on this previously, and I really like them, but I got a pretty good deal on these Power Stop ones, so I figured I'd give them a try and see how they compare. And I also grabbed new dust shields for my brakes, because this is what is left of what was there. So probably time for a new one. The rust in this truck sometimes amazes me. While I've been waiting for all those parts to come in, I have been hitting the hub of this thing with PB Blaster at least once a day, trying to get that soaked as much as possible. Based on the condition of those dust shields, it's going to be rough getting these hubs off, but I'll show you what I hit. Hitting these. There's 4 bolts on the back of the hub here. You can't really get a good view of them. And then I've been hitting this because we're going to have to push the U-joint out of that. So the first thing we're doing is we took this cotter pin out. We have this massive 1/11/16 socket to get that guy off. So let's get to it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, the hits keep on coming here. Trying to get the ABS sensor out, and with no force at all, it went completely round in there. It wasn't Allen. Can't win with this truck sometimes. Finally! What a bitch that was. So the easiest way to press out the U-joint in this is to use some kind of press, or if you have a hydraulic press, even better. Another way you could do it is if you don't have a press like that, you could put a socket on here. Put this on the ground with nothing on the right on the underside. Put a socket right on here and hit it with a sledgehammer. That's another way to do it. Not as easy, but it does work. All right.
So in these caps you have these needle bearings that run around the outside. All these guys. And you can see this one right here. I'm assuming this is the one that failed. Assuming this is the one that failed because this one is bone dry inside. Alright, we got the new joint pressed in here. Everything's moving free. It's looking good. So, go back to put it in there, reassemble things. Now, because of how much I had to beat and heat these up to get them off, I got the whole bearing assembling, ABS sensor, all that. Figure while it's off, there's no point in putting this old one back on. So I got that for both sides. Also, while taking this tie rod off so I can get the impact gun in here, I actually damaged all the threads on these, so had to reach out to Synergy and get a new replacement end. So that's gonna go on too, but at least we're on the rebuild.
Done. All right, U-joints in, hubs back together, new brakes on. Time to take it for a test drive. Now, the test drive is going to be 2 parts because these brakes also have a braking procedure. So I'm going to take it for a test drive while doing the braking procedure, and it's 5 aggressive stops, 40 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour, and then 5 mild ones, 35 to 5, and then drive around, let everything cool off. And that'll set the brakes up to be, the best they can be. At least that's what the manufacturer says. And then we'll be good to go. So hopefully all goes well and I can complete that braking procedure.
All right, guys, so just got back from the test drive. Everything's working good. So I knew the U-joints were bad. That was causing the issue while I was driving. When full lock, we tried to spin and it was totally locked up. So I know that was an issue. I'm not sure if the bearings were an issue or not either way, but I replaced them just because of how much I beat on them and everything like that. All I know is that when I just took it for the drive, the road noise in the car, which I thought was more tires and just, being a big truck, it was significantly quieter. It's one of those things, as these things start to wear, they get a little bit louder every time, and you kind of don't notice it until something like this you replace it, and you're like, is this how it was when I started driving this truck? So, took it for the test drive, everything's good, broke in the brakes the way they tell you to, and it's running great. Very happy with there is a pain, but enough heat and enough PB blast, you'll get through it. So, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.